The forest stood silent, a vast expanse of tranquility that stretched as far as the eye could see. The trees, tall and ancient, seemed to whisper secrets of a time long past. The air was thick with the scent of pine and earth, a heady mix that grounded you in the present moment. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the forest took on a bluish hue, casting an ethereal glow over the landscape. A symphony of life, yet still. Tiny insects and small animals moved quietly, each playing their part in the grand orchestra of nature. The rustle of leaves underfoot, the distant call of a bird, and the gentle hum of insects created a melody that was both soothing and invigorating. It was a reminder that even in stillness life thrived. Towering pines, ancient guardians of the wilderness, stood tall and proud. Their branches reached out like arms, embracing the sky. These trees had witnessed countless seasons, their bark etched with the passage of time. They were the silent sentinels of the forest, watching over the land with a wisdom that only age could bring. Below the forest floor, a carpet of leaves damp with the evening dew told stories of the cycles of life. Each leaf, a testament to the changing seasons, lay in a mosaic of colours and textures. The ground was soft underfoot, a cushion of organic matter that had been building for years. It was a world unto itself, teeming with life and decay. A stream, its water clear as crystal, meandered through the trees. It sang a song of its own, a gentle babble that harmonized with the sounds of the forest. The water, cool and refreshing, reflected the sky and the canopy above. It was a lifeline, nourishing the plants and animals that depended on it. The stream's journey was a testament to the persistence and resilience of nature. This was a place untouched, pristine, a sanctuary where the hand of man had not yet intruded. The forest was a living, breathing entity, a testament to the beauty and power of the natural world. It was a place of refuge, a reminder of what the world could be if left to its own devices. The air, cool and crisp, carried the scent of pine and damp earth. Each breath was a reminder of the purity of this place. The forest was alive with the sense of nature, a fragrant tapestry that told the story of the land. The cool air was invigorating, a stark contrast to the warmth of the day. It was a sensory experience that grounded you in the present moment. A lone bird called out, its song echoing through the silent woods. It was a call to the wild, a reminder of the interconnectedness of all life. The bird's song was a melody of hope and resilience, a testament to the enduring spirit of nature. It was a moment of connection, a brief but powerful reminder of the beauty and complexity of the natural world. Then silence descended once more. It was a silence that was both profound and comforting. The forest, in its stillness, spoke volumes. It was a silence that invited reflection, a moment to pause and appreciate the beauty of the world around us. In that silence there was a sense of peace, a feeling of being part of something much larger than oneself. It was a silence that spoke volumes, a silence pregnant with the mystery and majesty of the wild. The forest, in its quiet grandeur, was a reminder of the power and beauty of nature. It was a place of wonder and awe, a sanctuary for the soul. In the tranquility of the wild, one could find a sense of peace and connection that was both humbling and inspiring. A young man, alone but at ease, walked along the bank. His name was Alex, an avid hiker drawn to the solitude of nature. He had set up camp nearby, his tent nestled amongst the trees. The stream was his companion, its gentle murmur a soothing melody. Alex collected firewood, his movements efficient and practiced. He built a small fire, the flames crackling merrily as they licked at the dry wood. This was his escape, his sanctuary from the noise and chaos of the world. He breathed deeply, content. Night fell. The forest transformed. Shadows deepened, taking on strange, almost sinister shapes. The moon, a sliver in the sky, provided little comfort. Alex sat by the fire, lost in thought. Then he heard it, a faint sound, like whispers on the wind. He paused, listening intently. The sound came again, a little louder this time. It seemed to be coming from the direction of the stream. Alex, though slightly unnerved, dismissed it as the rustling of leaves or the movement of a nocturnal animal. But the sound persisted. It grew louder, more insistent. The forest, usually a sanctuary of peace, now felt like a living entity, breathing and watching. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig seemed amplified, echoing through the dense canopy. The air was thick with tension, and the darkness seemed to press in from all sides. It was no longer a whisper, but a low growl, guttural and menacing. Alex, now genuinely concerned, rose to his feet. His heart pounded in his chest, each beat a drum, signalling his growing fear. He scanned the darkness, trying to pinpoint the source of the sound, but it seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere all at once. He picked up a burning branch from the fire, his makeshift torch casting flickering shadows around him. The flames danced, creating eerie shapes that seemed to move and shift with a life of their own. The light provided some comfort, but it also revealed the twisted, gnarled branches of the trees, making the forest appear even more sinister. He cautiously approached the stream. The growling sound intensified, reverberating through the ground and into his bones. Each step felt heavier than the last, as if the very earth was trying to hold him back. The stream, a familiar landmark, now seemed alien and foreboding. It was then that he saw it. The water in the stream, usually so clear and tranquil, was now bubbling violently. The surface churned and frothed, as if something monstrous was trying to break free. The once soothing sound of flowing water was now a chaotic symphony of turmoil. It was as if an unseen force was agitating it from below. Fear, cold and sharp, gripped Alex's heart. He felt a chill run down his spine, and his breath came in short, ragged gasps. The forest, the stream, everything he once knew seemed to be turning against him. He stood there paralyzed as the growling grew louder, echoing in the night. He stumbled back, dropping the burning branch in his haste. Something was wrong, terribly wrong. An instinctive urge to flee, to put as much distance as possible between himself and the stream, took hold of him. Alex turned and ran, his heart pounding in his chest. He didn't look back, didn't dare to. The growling from the stream seemed to follow him, echoing through the trees. Fear lent speed to his steps. He crashed through the undergrowth, branches whipping at his face. The forest, once a sanctuary, now felt like a prison, closing in on him. He could hear the growling sound behind him, closer now, as if whatever was making it was gaining on him. Alex pushed himself harder, his lungs burning, his legs screaming for respite. He had to get away. He had to reach his camp, his only refuge in this nightmare. But the sound, relentless, pursued him. He burst into the clearing where his camp was. The fire had died down to embers, casting a faint glow. He stumbled towards his tent, fumbling for the zipper. His breath came in ragged gasps, his body slick with sweat. The growling sound was right behind him now, louder than ever. It was a deep guttural roar that seemed to shake the very ground beneath his feet. Terror, pure and primal, surged through him. He managed to unzip the tent and scramble inside. He zipped it back up, his hands shaking so badly that he could barely connect the two sides. He huddled at the back of the tent, his back pressed against the canvas, his eyes wide with fear. The roaring continued outside, echoing all around him. It seemed to be circling the tent like a predator stalking its prey. Alex lay there, paralyzed with fear, listening to the horrifying sound. The night stretched on, an eternity of terror. As dawn approached, the roaring sound finally began to recede. The forest, which had been alive with the cacophony of the night, started to return to its natural state of tranquility. The once deafening noise, which had filled every corner of the woods, slowly ebbed away. Leaving behind an eerie silence, it faded into the distance until it was nothing more than a faint whisper lost in the wind. The trees, which had swayed violently under the force of the sound, now stood still, their leaves rustling gently in the morning breeze. The forest seemed to be holding its breath, as if waiting for something to happen. Alex, exhausted and terrified, lay huddled in his tent, unsure if the nightmare was truly over. His heart pounded in his chest, and his mind raced with thoughts of what he had just experienced. The fear that had gripped him throughout the night was still fresh, and he couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching him. When the sun finally rose, painting the sky in hues of gold and crimson, he cautiously emerged from his tent. The warm light of dawn brought a sense of relief, but also a new set of questions. What had caused the terrifying sounds? Was it a natural phenomenon or something more sinister? Alex couldn't be sure. The forest was silent, the air still. The usual morning chorus of birds was absent, and the only sound was the gentle rustling of leaves. It was as if the forest itself was recovering from the night's events, slowly coming back to life. The stream flowed peacefully, its water clear and undisturbed. The sight of the calm water brought a small measure of comfort to Alex. He knelt by the stream, splashing his face with the cool water, trying to wash away the remnants of fear that clung to him. Had it all been a figment of his imagination? The events of the night seemed so surreal, so out of place in the otherwise peaceful forest. Alex couldn't help but question his own sanity. Was he losing his mind, or had he truly experienced something beyond explanation? A trick of the darkness? Alex didn't know. The shadows of the night had played tricks on his mind, and the fear had clouded his judgment. But the memory of the sound, the feeling of dread, was too vivid to dismiss as mere imagination. But one thing was certain: he would never forget the night he spent by the strange stream. The experience had left an indelible mark on his soul, a reminder of the mysteries that lurk in the shadows of the world. As he sat by the stream watching the water flow, he knew that the forest held secrets that he might never fully understand, and yet he felt a strange sense of peace, knowing that he had faced the unknown and come out